Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we proudly present this podcast to you in all its glory. They are the bearded wonders, the twin sons from different mothers. He is Blake, he is Sal, and together they are the Blake and Sal Show. And if you're not okay with that, I have two words for you. Stay tuned. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we proudly present this podcast to you in all its glory. They are the bearded wonders, the twin sons from different mothers. He is Blake, he is Sal, and together they are the Blake and Sal Show. And if you're not okay with that, I have two words for you. Stay tuned.
So, we wanna stay, but can't find peace while sitting still. I guess we never will. We run away, we won't hurry back again. The journey is the end. I love this very moment. We're speeding up, not slowing. We might know we can't win, but we're dumb enough to try. We're going, there's no maybe. That's why they call us crazy. And we'll say if anybody asks us, hey, where you gonna go? We're off to see the world. We don't need to know. Oh, hey, where you gonna go? We're off to see the world. We don't need to know. We never need to know. Seeking boundaries.
Welcome back, Blake and Salketeers. It's Kyle and Matt here covering day 2, well, for us, of Ponyville Ciderfest 2018. Say hi, Matt.
Hi, Matt.
I think we all saw that one coming now, didn't we?
Yes, we did.
Well, on the table today, should things go according to plan, at around 11:30, I'll be covering a Cutie Mark in Art, which is a panel about learning how you can turn your talent into a career. And Matt will be covering the Sunday Guest of Honor panel. Later on, we will be checking in on Meet the Ciderfest art team. Well, I will be doing that. Matt will be covering the musician meetup and hopefully get some questions in.
Mm-hmm.
And then we will top it all up by covering the closing ceremonies. So, seems like we got a nice packed day coming.
Yeah, we have a fairly busy day today.
Alrighty, so it's Kyle and Matt signing off for now. Bye-bye.
I was supposed to have Lachlan O'Neill with me, but she is not feeling so well this morning, so she apologizes for not being here. Cutie Mark in Art, basically how I run this panel is I'm just going to kind of talk about some different things about, making a career in art and how I got into it. And if you have any questions at any point, please feel free to interrupt me, because it's kind of hard for me to structure this panel every time I've done it, because there's just so much to talk about specifically. I guess I could just start with. This is really loud. So I'm 23 years old. I'm an art and design major at University of St. Francis in Joliet, Illinois. I'm supposed to graduate next semester, but we have a little art program there. It's a private school. It's not an art school, but it's a really good program, and I've learned a lot there. And I've tried so many different mediums while I've been there, and that's probably the important thing I tell a lot of artists is expand your mediums. Like, even if you think you're not going to be good at something, just try it. You might end up liking it. And if you don't like it, or if you're not that very good at it, then you don't have to keep doing it. Is there any specific questions anybody had or topics that you wanted to address? All right, I'm trying to think what else. Art school in general. A lot of people ask me, do I have to go to art school to be an artist? General answer is no. I went to St. Francis originally for music tech, and I found out I didn't like it. So I stayed in it for like maybe 2 semesters, and I switched, and I went back to art because art's always where I've been, and I've always been happy there, and I switched, and I've never regretted it. Most people say like, well, like, oh, do you absolutely have to go? And I'm like, not really. It's all kind of up to you. Not everyone is cut out for college. I feel like no one can really tell you other than yourself. If you don't want to go to college, you don't have to go 4 years. I tell people, like, you can take classes like once every, like, every couple semesters. You can go to community centers. You can go to Joanne Fabrics. They have classes that they run. You can just do things on your own. A lot of people are self-taught. I took a class where we did a whole unit on just self-taught artists who were like really famous and ended up having a legacy, but they never even were professionally taught. I went to my college not because specifically I wanted a degree per se. I just wanted to learn more things. Like, I know at my college we have like screen printing facilities, we have a wood shop, we have pottery, we have like all different, we have access to so many different things, and I just wanted to learn them for myself so I could use them on my own. And that's basically where I started getting my career going in art, because I learned so many things. And then I worked at a retail store that was locally owned, and my boss kind of taught me about how it is to like sell things and like calculating your costs. So he always says like, oh, if you're going to go into business on your own, he said it's always good to like take like a gen ed business class somewhere, just so you get like a general feeling for like how it is. And I was just really lucky that I had a boss who was really nice, and he was able to like tell me like how, like, oh, this is how you price things, and this is how you figure out like how much it's going to cost you and make your money back. And I just kind of got into it that way. And specifically with conventions, I tried selling online for a while, but with the way my life is with school and work, I'm just way too busy to sell online. If you are into selling online, I know a lot of people go for Etsy because it's a popular thing. However, I know some people complain about how much it costs to post on Etsy, especially if your sales aren't like super, high. And come on in if you want to sit down. Enjoy. Please come in. But I use a site. It's through the Square POS system. It's like the little card readers that you see a lot of vendors using. They have a portal now that they started, I think, 1 or 2 years ago. You can make a website, you can post your products or whatever you want to sell on there for free on your account, and the only fee that you get charged is a processing fee, as if you were swiping your credit card on the reader. So I end up using that, and I like it a lot more because you don't have to pay for the site. You can pick your own URL, and you can set up however you want. It's really easy to customize, and they make it so you can do it really, really easily and make your own site. And I started doing that, but when I started selling online, I just found I didn't have time for it because it's very, very, very time consuming. People think it's very easy to just set up an Etsy account and just sell things and make money, and it's not easy. It's, like I said, it's very time consuming of making your product and posting it. Please come in if you want to, please. Come on. Selling online is just very time consuming. You have to make your product, you have to price everything, you have to take pictures and post them, you have to write descriptions, you have to keep up on it every day. And unless that's like your full-time job or you have enough time to do it on the side, then that's cool. Other than that, when I sell online, I sell to people like through my Facebook or like through my Twitter, like here and there, but I don't have like a set up store yet just because I don't have the time for it. But I started selling at cons because I met somebody who had a vendor booth, and she needed somebody to work for her. I said, yeah, I'll work for you. And then I just kind of saw like how she ran her vendor booth, and it wasn't Artist Alley. She was like an actual vendor at anime cons. And I just kind of watched like what she did, and I asked her questions, and then eventually she let me put a little bit of my stuff out at her booth, and then I kind of learned how things work at conventions in general. And yeah, usually just attending a lot of conventions, if that's what you're looking to do, is sell your own work. If you're looking especially to sell conventions, just go to conventions, talk to artists, like look at what they're doing. You can ask them questions like, oh, hey, like, how do you set up your booth? Or how do you pick what you put on your table? And it's just, you can just talk to people and they can give you little hints there and there, because everybody's a little bit different on how they like run their own art business. Anybody have any specific questions or topics that they want me to cover at all related to art or art school or being in a career in art at all? Yeah.
Would you say it's worth it to go to art school?
For me, yes, Because some people have a bad time because either they have a bad school experience or they have professors that they don't like, and it just kind of makes them, like, it kind of, I guess, discourages them. I've had a really lucky time, and the program I'm in is really, really good, and the teachers are really nice, and for me it was worth it because I learned so many different things I could never learn anywhere else. And we also have like open facilities where like we can screen print our own shirts if we want. We can make our own pottery if we want. Whenever, like, we have 24-hour access to our studio, so we're allowed to go in there and make whatever we want, whenever we want, as long as we tell them that we're going to be there. It's like I said, I was saying in the beginning, it's not 100% required for people to go to college. Not everyone is cut out for it, and a lot of people look into like big art schools like the Art Institute or the Art Academy, but it's not for everyone. I know that. I go to a small art program through like a private college, and I love it just because it's so small and like the classroom sizes are so small. But if you can't go to like a college, I definitely recommend just taking like classes here and there. If there's like something specific that you want to learn, if you want to take like a drawing class like locally, it helps. And you know, tutorials online are always good. Self-taught things are always great. But yeah. It's worth, for me it was worth it, but for some people they don't really find it worth it, especially like, you know, people say, oh, an art degree is worthless, but for me, like, I went to school because I wasn't trying to get the piece of paper, I was just trying to learn things so I could do things on my own. But it all depends, but for most people they say, oh, it's worth it because I learned something. But then you get to be in student debt for like ever. But it's alright, it's worth it. Does anyone have any questions so far at all? Anything?
Where'd you go?
I go to the University of St. Francis in Joliet, Illinois. It's like a private college, like in the suburbs, and they have like a really small art program. I originally went there for art, not art. I went there for music tech, and I ended up switching. So it was actually kind of lucky how that happened. I'm just really lucky that I have professors who are cool, and like one of our advisors is like a pro like MLG player, and he travels all over the world, and he like collects comic books. Like he has a bookshelf that's like floor to ceiling of just comics and graphic novels, and like he gets it. Like when I tell him about con stuff, I was so nervous at first when he's like, "Oh, what do you do?" I'm like, "Oh, I like go to these like conventions and draw on horses." And he's like, "Oh, that's all like that. I understand that." So he's really cool, and then our other department head like has his own band, and he like does stuff on the side. He does woodworking, and they're just really nice. I tell people, like, you go to art school, and if you feel like you're having a bad time, it's either you're not really into art, or maybe your instructor is kind of bumming you out. Because I've heard some pretty good horror stories from people, from different professors. But I'm just lucky enough to have good teachers that encourage me to do what I'm doing. People always ask me, like, oh, how do you start up, I guess, in conventions? It's just really a matter of investing your time and also your own money. And it sucks to, you know, think about that, but I tell people, I'm like, if you're an artist, get a job, get a job, get a job. Everyone thinks that they can just start off with commissions. I didn't even start out making commissions to maybe like 2 years ago. Because I tell everyone, I'm like, I know you want to be an artist, and that's like your dream, and that was mine too. I'm like, but you have to make money in order to get there. So, and that applies to really any other career path that you have. Like, if you're on your way there, you have to be making money somehow. You can't just bet on, like, I know a lot of people that was telling me, like, oh, well, I'm doing commissions, but I don't have a job. But I don't have any money because I barely make any commissions. I'm like, well, you need to go get a job because you can't buy supplies if you don't have any money. So I always tell people it's just important, and sometimes you have to work a crummy job for like a year and a half to, you know, just save up if you have like a certain project in mind. I know I worked at a restaurant for like a little over a year, and the second I had an out to get out of there, I did. But it was worth it because I was able to buy so many different things. I was able to buy a new sewing machine. I was able to buy brand new paints. I was able to get all these different things I wanted to do. And that's so important when I tell people, like, you have to earn money somehow, because it's not false when people say, like, oh, there's no money in art. Like, there is, but it's hard to get it. Did you have a question?
What are your thoughts on licensing your art?
Licensing? I know, like, stealing art is, like, a big thing, and the law does not give a crap about artists at all. And they're just like, sorry, your stuff got stolen, we don't really care. But licensing is, Usually it's mostly important, from what my professors have told us, it's mostly important if you're thinking about selling it and marketing it in a certain way, then it's good to look into, and there's just a lot of like legal things that you have to like